You never know what might happen when it comes to physical competitions. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 crazy moments in sports. Though sometimes it means unbelievable or good, for this list, we're defining crazy as shocking and bad.
Right about here where Lambert grabs Shumway and down.
Whoa!
We're focusing on displays of bad behavior, violence, and accidents that simply made our jaws drop. The events could have happened during or after sporting events, as well as away from play. Number 10. The World Series earthquake. This tremor struck the San Francisco Bay Area for 10 to 15 seconds and was caught live on TV because of the ongoing World Series. The MLB's Oakland Athletics and San Francisco Giants were warming up for their third game when the quake hit and had announcers scrambling for an explanation.
So the Oakland A's take.
I'll tell you what, we're having an earthquake.
Measuring 6.9 on the Richter scale, the Loma Prieta earthquake caused over 60 deaths and thousands of injuries.
It's been a frightening scene here. As you can see just below me is where this crack in the Bay Bridge occurred, a 50-foot section.
Number 9. Tim Donaghy and the NBA betting scandal. It was in 2007 that this basketball referee with a gambling problem shocked the NBA. Associating himself with multiple individuals who were tied to the mob, Tim Donaghy was charged for fixing games to pay off his debts. The gambling scandal resulted in Donaghy receiving a 15-month prison sentence for his involvement and the revision of behavior guidelines for NBA referees.
All right, we got to take a break. Fascinating stuff. Well, I'm glad you're still here, hanging out, and don't do that again. Because I'm the king of doing stupid stuff.
Number 8. Clint Malarchuk's neck is sliced by a skate. Luck was on this Alberta native's side the day the St. Louis Blues faced off against the Buffalo Sabres on March 22, 1989.
That's the story right now with Ian Red. Oh, Glenn. That is the. Oh, my God. Oh, please take the camera off and don't even bring it over there.
After Blues player Steve Tuttle accidentally slashed the goaltender's neck with his skate, team trainer Jim Pizzatelli rushed to his rescue and pinched off the bleeding until doctors arrived. 300 stitches and multiple sickened fans and players later, Malarchuk came out alive.
That's right, it's part of the game. All right, Clint, thanks very much for joining us and good luck. Thanks, Jerry.
Number 7. On-court attack of Monica Seles. Tennis is seen as a civilized sport where fans are pretty close to the action, sometimes maybe too close. After defeating Steffi Graf in the Australian Open, Monica Seles was stabbed by one of her rival's obsessed fans during a quarterfinal match in Hamburg. Seles didn't return to the sport competitively for 2 years after the incident.
I was in a tennis match when this happened. I was doing something that I love, and I never ever expected something like this to happen.
Number 6. Over the Edge with Owen Hart. Wrestling is part competition, part entertainment. So when Owen Hart fell to his death during this pay-per-view event, many fans wondered if it was part of the storyline.
This is not a part of the entertainment here tonight.
Their shock and confusion turned to disbelief and sadness when it became clear it wasn't.
Before we were going to walk out, I just heard them screaming, saying it's not a fake, get a real EMT back here, he's not breathing, the ripcord broke or something, I don't know.
When the safety harness malfunctioned, Hart's chest-first plunge into the top rope had EMTs come running. No footage of the tragedy has ever been officially released. Number 5. The punch-up in Piestany. During the final game of the 1987 Junior Championship between Canada and the Soviet Union, inexperienced referee Hans Runing's failure to make several calls triggered tension. This resulted in a post-face-off fight between two players that turned into a violent battle between both teams. To stop it, officials were forced to turn off the arena lights.
They're trying to turn the lights off, and they turned them off.
The players and coaches involved in the 20-minute bench-clearing brawl received suspensions from the International Ice Hockey Federation.
I don't know what the international rule book calls for in this situation. It's never happened.
Number 4. The 1994-95 MLB strike. It was because of this work stoppage that the first World Series in 90 years was canceled, and Major League Baseball lost its entire 1994 postseason. After salary negotiations between players and team owners took a turn for the worse, the players felt compelled to strike, and the season came to an abrupt end after several weeks.
I still think this can be settled. The parties are just going to have to decide whether they want to have a baseball season in '95.
Though a Supreme Court decision 232 days later stopped the strike, early low attendance for the 1995 season revealed fans' anger.
I already know what I'm going to start doing. I'm going to start rereading Dante's Inferno, because that's where I think they should send the whole lot of them. Back to you.
Number 3. The play. After future Hall of Famer John Elway led the Stanford Cardinals offense to what appeared to be a game-winning touchdown, California's Golden Bears managed to return the kickoff down the field.
Still in deep trouble at midfield. They tried to do a couple of... The ball is still loose as they get it to Rogers. They give it back now to the...
Meanwhile, the Stanford band was storming the field while the play was still going on.
Oh, the band is out on the field. He's going to go into the end zone. He's going into the end zone.
Cali was ultimately given the victory, albeit a highly disputed one, and to this day the incident's regarded as one of the sport's most memorable plays ever.
There were flags all over the place. Wait and see what happens. We don't know who won the game.
Number 2. The Le Mans disaster. Because of auto racing's dangerous nature, car crashes come with the territory.
This is huge because you go head on. And that TV does not do that justice. That is an incredible impact head on. Those are the kind of accidents that absolutely are frightening.
However, they seldom have spectator fatalities. Unfortunately, the 1955 24 Hours of Le Mans was the site of both. Pierre Levesque died after his Mercedes crashed into Lance Macklin's car, taking over 80 spectators with him. Those that weren't killed by flying debris likely perished in the fire that erupted when the fuel tank burst.
In a few ghastly seconds, death wipes out whole families. LeVay is killed before his wife's eyes, and some 70 spectators with him. Among the bodies, frantic survivors seek their friends.
Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
And he pretends to be hurt, but this one hurts. Boom! On the chin. Anderson's hurt. That one finishes him off. He's out cold.
If you can bear to watch it, take a look, but it's a terrible looking injury.
And Moises is unhappy with the fans, but Moises went into the seats. He could have had that ball. A fan interfered with him.
Number 1. The Hand of God goal. It was in 1986 that the FIFA World Cup was the stage of the world's biggest game with the world's biggest football star. Argentina and England faced off in a match that went down in history because Diego Maradona scored not 1, but 2 of the sport's most famous goals ever. First was the Hand of God goal, which he appeared to score with his hand. That controversial goal was let through because the refs had not seen it. 4 minutes later, the Argentine footballer landed the goal of the century when he dribbled the ball past several English players by himself.
Comes inside Butcher, leaves him for dead. Outside Fennick, leaves him for dead and puts the ball away. And that is why Maradona's the greatest player in the world. He buried the English defense. He picked up that ball 40 yards out.
Do you agree with our list? What do you think is the craziest moment in sports? If you didn't see a moment you think should be on here, be sure to check out our video of the top 10 unsportsmanlike moments in sports and subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
They're going to pull that guy apart.